two people, same age, same income, same city, same job. One of them will retire comfortable and financially free. The other will still be working at 65, wondering where all the money went. The difference between them isn't luck. It isn't investing genius. It isn't even how much they earned. It's one decision they made in their late 20s, a decision that almost everyone makes, that most people never even question. They bought a new car. Now, before you click off, this isn't a video telling you that you can't enjoy your life or that you should ride a bicycle to work. This is a video about math, specifically the math that nobody shows you when you're sitting in that dealership. Because there's a number hiding inside every new car purchase, a number the industry hopes you never calculate. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what it is. Let's start with something that most people have heard, but very few people actually feel in their gut. The moment you drive a new car off the dealership lot, not next week, not next year, the moment you drive away, your car loses 10 to 20% of its value. Instantly. Not because anything broke, not because you did anything wrong, just because it is no longer new. By the end of year one, new vehicles in Canada lose 20 to 30% of their value in the first year. Let's put a real Canadian number on that. The average price of a new vehicle in Canada reached $63,264 in Q3 2025. Apply a 25% first-year depreciation, and that car is worth approximately $47,450 12 months later. You just lost $15,814 in 1 year. Not from an accident, not from negligence, just from time. And it keeps going. Total depreciation reaches 45 to 65% after 5 years. On a $63,000 car, that's a loss of $28,000 to $41,000 over 5 years. Here's what makes this so dangerous. Depreciation is silent. It doesn't show up as a bill. It doesn't come out of your bank account in a way you can see. It just quietly destroys the value of the asset you're still making payments on. And those payments, combined with December 2025 data from Statistics Canada, which shows the average APR on new auto loans has softened to 6.45%. The average brand-new car costs somewhere around $955 per month to finance over an 8-year term. 8 years, every month, for something that loses more than half its value by year 5. That's the first layer, but it's not the expensive one. Here's where it gets really interesting. When most people think about the cost of a car, they think about the payment, $955 a month. Done. That's the number they budget around. But that's not the number. That's just the beginning. Let's build the real number together, because this is the calculation that changes everything. The loan payment, $955 per month. That's based on the average Canadian new vehicle price of $63,264, financed over 8 years at 6.45% interest. And just on interest alone over that term, you'll pay approximately $25,000 extra on top of the car price. Insurance. Across Canada, auto insurance rates are up 14.4% year over year as of the end of Q4 2025. The average car insurance rate in Canada in 2025 is $1,725 per year, roughly $144 per month nationally. In Ontario, that average climbs to $1,927 per year, or $161 per month. In Brampton, $278 per month. Gas. At the current national average and driving 20,000 kilometers per year, a standard Canadian estimate, you're looking at approximately $165 per month in fuel. Maintenance, oil changes, tires, brakes, seasonal costs. Budget $100 to $150 per month conservatively. Add it together. The total cost of owning a car in Canada in 2026 is approximately $1,373 per month. $1,373 every single month. $16,476 every single year. Over an 8-year loan, $131,808. And that's before the car is even paid off. Now here's the question nobody asks at the dealership. What if that $1,373 a month went somewhere else? This is the part of the video most people have never seen calculated before. Economists call it opportunity cost, the value of what you give up when you make a choice. And when it comes to a new car, the opportunity cost is not the sticker price. It's not even the $131,000 total over the loan. It's something much larger. Let's do the math together. That $1,373 per month in total car costs. What if you invested it instead? In an S&P 500 ETF inside your TFSA, a low-cost fund tracking the 500 largest companies in the world, the long-run historical annual return has been approximately 10%, and a conservative 8% estimate over any 20 to 30-year horizon is well supported by decades of data. Here's what $1,373 a month at 8% annual return looks like. Over 30 years, the true cost of a new car, not the sticker price, not the loan, is $2,060,000 in wealth you never build. $2 million. Sitting in your TFSA, growing tax-free, compounding year after year. Gone. Because the money went to a depreciating machine instead. Now here's the kicker. At the end of 30 years with the car, you have a car worth almost nothing. At the end of 30 years with the investment, you have $2 million. Same money. Completely different outcome. This is the number the dealership hopes you never calculate. This is the real price of a new car. Most Canadians don't buy one new car. They buy a new car every 3 to 5 years. The industry calls it the auto upgrade cycle, and it's engineered specifically to keep you paying indefinitely. Here's how it works. You buy a new car on a 6 or 8-year loan. 3 years in, the dealership calls. Your car is worth more right now than it will be next year. They can roll your remaining balance into a brand new loan on a newer model. Your monthly payment stays roughly the same. What they don't tell you? You're rolling negative equity into the new loan. The difference between what you still owe and what your car is worth gets quietly added to the new loan. You start your next car already underwater before you've driven off the lot. Some Canadian buyers are now extending loans up to 8 years, according to KPMG data. An 8-year loan on a $63,000 car at 6.45% interest means you pay approximately $88,000 total, $25,000 in pure interest. If you upgrade at year 3 or 4 and restart with another 8-year loan, you repeat the cycle. Over a 30-year period, Canadians who cycle through new cars every 3 to 4 years often spend between $500,000 and $700,000 on vehicles. Vehicles that are collectively worth almost nothing by the time they're done. This isn't an accident. It's a business model. The good news? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So, if the math is this clear, why does everyone keep buying new cars? Because we're not making a financial decision. We're making an emotional one. Behavioral economists call this identity signaling, using visible spending to communicate status and success. A new car isn't just transportation. It's a message to your neighbors, your coworkers, your family. It says, "I'm doing well. I've arrived." And the industry knows this. Car commercials never show you depreciation charts or monthly loan statements. They show mountain roads, freedom, achievement. They spend billions every year connecting their product to your self-image. The result is that most Canadians will spend more time choosing which car to buy than they will planning their retirement. They'll negotiate over a $500 discount on the purchase price while never calculating the $25,000 in interest they're about to pay over 8 years. There's also the comparison effect. You get a promotion, and suddenly a coworker's car starts looking like a benchmark. A neighbor upgrades, and your 3-year-old car feels outdated. This is lifestyle inflation made visible. And unlike quietly increasing your food budget, a car signals the change publicly. The antidote isn't guilt, it's awareness. Once you understand that a new car is an identity purchase dressed up as a practical one, the decision stops feeling automatic. And automatic decisions are exactly how the industry relies on you never doing the math. Here's the good news. You don't need to give up your car. You need to give up the new car. There's a big difference. Option 1. Buy 2 to 3 years used. Used vehicle prices in Canada average $36,911 in Q3 2025, nearly $27,000 less than a new vehicle. A 2 to 3-year-old car has already absorbed the steepest depreciation hit. The person who bought it new lost $15,000 in year 1. You start with a nearly new vehicle and skip that loss entirely. At $36,911, your monthly loan payment drops significantly. Your insurance is lower. And with modern engineering, a well-maintained used vehicle from a reliable manufacturer will run for another 10 to 15 years without issue. Option 2. Buy used, pay cash, keep it long. The cleanest financial move available. Save up, buy a reliable used car outright, and drive it for as long as mechanically possible. No monthly payment, no interest, just gas, insurance, and maintenance. Take the $955 monthly payment you're no longer making. Put it in an S&P 500 ETF inside your TFSA. At 8% over 8 years, that's $127,000 in wealth that didn't exist before. Option 3. If you must buy new, keep it 10+ years. Depreciation is most painful in the first 5 years. The longer you keep a vehicle, the more that cost spreads out. A car purchased new and driven for 12 years costs dramatically less per year owned than one traded in at year 4. And regardless of which option you choose, follow this rule. Your total vehicle costs, payment, insurance, gas, maintenance, should not exceed 15% of your take-home pay. In 2026, the total cost of owning a new car in Canada is approximately $1,373 per month. On a $75,000 salary, your take-home is roughly $4,800 per month. 15% of that is $720. A $1,373 car cost on a $75,000 salary isn't 15% of take-home. It's nearly 29%. Most Canadians who buy new violate this rule on day 1 and don't realize it for years. Remember those 2 people we talked about at the start? Same age, same income, same city, same job. Here's the actual difference between them. Person A buys a new car at 28, $63,000, $1,373 per month total cost. They upgrade every 4 years. For 30 years, $16,476 leaves their account every year. going toward vehicles that depreciate to near zero. Person B buys a 2-year-old used car for $36,000 cash. Their total monthly vehicle cost is $720. The difference, roughly $650 a month, goes into an S&P 500 ETF inside their TFSA. At 8% over 30 years, that $650 a month becomes $975,000. Same income, same city, same job. One decision made once in their late 20s. That's the number the industry hoped you'd never calculate. Now you have. After surging 31% between 2019 and 2024, the average transaction price for new light vehicles in Canada fell by 0.6% in 2025, landing at $53,400. The market is slightly more affordable than it was, but the math of depreciation, interest, and opportunity cost hasn't changed. Your car is not an investment. It is a tool. Buy the most reliable tool you can afford with the least amount of money, and invest the rest. The boring car always wins.